What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you once again joining me while I'm winding down the 10,000 steps. This is probably going to be the last one for the day. But I want to talk to y'all about resources, and handouts, and how, as men, you cannot count on that stuff. We are completely on our own when it comes to this. If you notice, you don't really see men taking much advantage of EBT programs. You don't really see men with shelters. It's harder for men to get into shelters. You don't really see men with Section 8. There's all types of programs for women that just are not available for men. Men are expected never to fall off. So understand that that's what life is for. That's what life is like for us as men. We can't fall off. We're expected to always land on our feet. We're expected to make a way out of no way whenever we have to, all right? Make a way out of no way. I remember I was having this conversation with a female friend, and she genuinely is a female friend. I talk about female friends. She genuinely is a female friend because I friend zone her. So that's the dynamic where it works. The leverage that a woman may have of you being interested in her is completely null and void if you are the one who friend zone her, because right out the gate you've established you're not interested. But that's neither here or there. We were having a discussion, and she was trying to debate me that the world holds women accountable the same way that it holds men accountable. And I said to her, that's simply not true. I'm not saying that women don't have their own struggles out here in the world. I'm saying that the accountability factor when it comes to being a man is much harsher. We don't have all these different fail safes in place to catch us when we're making suboptimal choices. As men, if we're out here being goofy and making suboptimal choices, what's waiting on us is homelessness. Think about this. When you see a homeless person, more often than not, is it a man or is it a woman? 95% of the time, maybe even more. I think 95 is being modest, but I'll go with 95. 95% of the time, it's going to be a man, because men are just not that sympathetic. A single dad, and I can say this from experience because I've been a single dad. A single dad still will not get the same resources available to him as a single mom will get. We are just gauged much differently, as I said. And this isn't a complaint. This isn't a complaint at all. This isn't me whining about it. This is me just telling y'all what is. Because see, me, I know the type of dude I am. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna make it happen. So at no point was I ever worried about myself or my son eating. We ate very good. So this was never a concern for me. But I would sit and think like, dang, I'm good, but what if I wasn't? It's crazy how, for all the talk about being equal, when it comes to doling out resources, we're not, even when there's children involved. Women are just far more sympathetic than men are. That's always the way it's been. That's always the way it will be. And I say this to y'all again, not as a complaint, but just to remind you how important it is for you to stay on task and not fall off. You as a man are always going to be expected to go get it and make stuff happen, no matter what the scenario is. You as a man are never going to be allowed to complain and whine. Women are allowed to do that and get away with it. Women can make TikToks complaining about their bad choices. Men can't. No one's sympathetic. It's just like when I was talking to that female friend, and we were talking about how men and women are not gays the same. Well, she was trying to say that men and women were, and I'm like, no, men and women are not. And she was really trying to push this narrative until I hit her with this. I said to her, look, in the time I've known you, you have made extremely poor choices with your life, right? And she was like, yeah, you got me there, I have. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, I don't say this in order to be a diss in any way. This is just going to segue into what my point is. You have made extremely poor choices in your life. And look at you. You still got a place to stay. You still got Medicaid for your kids. You still got EBT, so you got food in the fridge. You know, like, if I made the same poor choices that you have been making for the last several years, I would be homeless. There is no way that a grown man can make the same poor quality choices that you have made for years and still have all these resources that you have going for you. There is no way a grown man moving the way you've been moving for these last several years, he would find himself homeless within months. So when I threw that out there, she kind of did the anime, because she wasn't expecting me to throw that out there, but that ultimately killed her case, because she just wanted to believe so desperately. I don't even know why, because it's very obvious. I don't even know why she was trying so desperately to make this case that men and women are gays the same, handled the same. You know, she could be a little bit of a raging feminist at times, but you know, I mean, come on. Even if you are drinking that feminist Kool-Aid, you can't be so oblivious to where you don't see just blatantly obvious things. We're not gauged the same. Men are often gauged much harshly. The burden of performance is much higher when it comes to men. And just men are overall expected to never fall off, make a way out of no way, do what you got to do. And I accept that. I have no problem with that. In fact, I prefer it that way, because I mean, you know, I take accountability for myself and my actions or lack thereof. I take total accountability for it. So this isn't an issue for me. I know we do got some guys nowadays, they a bit different. I'll just say that to put it mildly. They a bit different. They want to blame their dad wasn't around. They want to blame, you know, their mom wasn't supportive enough or didn't cuddle them enough or whatever it is. And I don't know, maybe there's some truth in that somewhere, but you can't blame this stuff for the rest of your life for why you're not doing what you need to do. So that's pretty much it, my fellas. I want y'all to understand that you are always going to be expected to do what you got to do and make stuff happen. I want you to understand that all these different resources that are out here that are available to help people, they're usually excluding men. You know, they're usually reserved for women and children, and they exclude men. If you're not handling your business, if you're not grinding, understand that more likely than not, you're going to end out on the streets. And the streets is the last place that you want to end up at. I seen some guy earlier when I was out, you know, about a Starbucks. You know, he was an OG. I don't know what his problem is, but he was out there homeless. He fell all on the ground. You know, ambulance was called to come get him. I don't know what his story is of how he ended up out there like that. But what I do know is whatever landed him out there in that situation, you want to do everything you can to make sure you're not out there like him. So handle your business, you know, grind, stay on top of stuff, make your money, make better choices, invest, do everything that you know for a fact that you are supposed to do as a man to be productive and just be responsible. So I hope this message lands for those who need to hear it. I appreciate y'all. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me that thumbs up if you like this video. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. Peace.